The honorable member asked about finding a mechanism of helping the poor and the exploitative behavior from the unscrupulous lawyers. Look, I think, how do we help the poor? Not with this law, Chair. Section 19C of this law says you must use a lawyer. Is this cumbersome? Of course it is. I mean, how do you sue someone without having a lawyer? Why would you even have a situation where there's a social benefit that needs a lawyer for you to access it? So it's not for the poor, this thing. And that's a fact. As I said, it's the most regressive form of taxation of benefits I've ever seen. Because the ones that have the most will obviously get the most from the system. That's how it works. It's worse that even your own child, how they assess whether your child was going to have potential is on the basis of what you have. So if you are like me and your mother was a home executive that never had an income, chances of you giving income, they take the trajectory of your father. But we know why, because it's a 1942 issue, right? So, are you gonna get lawyers out? No. There is a reason why this thing collapsed, Chair. That's why the RAPS bill collapsed. The legal fraternity is a very convincing and strong lobby group. They've made sure that RAPS never sees the day, and they pride themselves with that, and they will do that. The foreigners, Chair, and this is the part where people say, well, RAF likes going to court. There's no truth to that. It's one of the cases that we are taken to court for refusing illegal foreigners to benefit from the scheme. Because it's our opinion, Chair. It's something that we are also appealing. Lucky enough, now we have got our leave to appeal, where we were told that foreigners can be here illegally but constitutionally. So we didn't know what that meant, but that was the outcome. You see, why is the law not preventing foreigners from claiming? Well, we don't know, Chair. It's the law, we are implementing the law. The biggest beneficiary we have in this country, it's a Swiss national who has paid more than 500 million of money. It's worse. When you go to other countries, you are not even allowed to claim a social benefit. And you must tell them, I'm not gonna, let alone the fact that they will say, please get insurance for yourself. But they say, also sign that you will never ask for social benefits in this country. They do it. The UK is the first one. I've just applied for their visa, and that's what they said to me. So that's what happens. We always comply. And Chair, when we started this and then we said we don't need lawyers, people said, well, this thing is not gonna work. We are saying this, Chair, we have saved this entity 24 billion in legal fees that we have taken and given to beneficiaries in the last 4 years. It's about 6 billion a year that we have saved in legal costs. Was it an easy feat? It was not, Chair. It was never gonna be easy. The 10.7 million, Chair, that we have, we do not think is fruitless expenditure because there must be clarity. We are spending 10.7 million to avoid accounting wrongly for 315 billion at least. So it's not necessarily cutting our nose to spite the face, but 320 billion of a liability that we are supposed to account for, which is not there in our view, can't be fruitless and wasteful expenditure. It's not in vain, Chair. It will create clarity about who we are and how we must account. I think that's the issue. The funding model, it's unsustainable, we have agreed. What was the issue? I think I've explained this one, Mr. Skosana, on how we used to account before 2019. What would the opinion look like? I think the chair has already clarified that. It will be a clean audit, because that's the only thing that is between us and that clean audit. What is the success rate of individuals that don't use lawyers? Well, we'll never know, because in any event, what happened is that our predecessors tried to do this thing of driving what was called direct claims. They've got a particular problem. If RAF does not respond in 120 days, you must issue summons. I can issue summons myself. I, Collins Litsolo, can issue summons myself. So you need a lawyer. So it's taking you back to the lawyer. In fact, to the extent that Section 19D says if you enter into a contract with any other person than the lawyer, the RAF must not honor your claim. So you can go and read Section 19D as it were. It's shocking. What is also shocking, of course, Chair, is Section 18.4 that says to our people, go and bury these people before you come to claim from RAF. If a family has lost, like we had a family that lost 5 people at the same time, they are expected, notwithstanding them being passengers, to bury their own, and all they can claim is the cost of entering someone into a grave. We know our people. You must buy a cow or what. We don't cover those. That's this act as it sits today. Mr. Atkinson says, what value are those numbers? They are as valid as the AG says they are. There's only one number we don't agree on, is the liability. They don't say to you that our RNYP is wrong or anything like that. They've never said that. And that's why we say, when they give us the action plan, we implement it, Chair, on every other aspect, which is why you would see that we have added another one, which is systems, and in there is also green. Because we take the AG seriously. There's no point at which we don't. We just disagree with the AG. That does not mean we don't account, Chair. We do account. A disagreement and in one aspect cannot then make the AG and the auditing a futile exercise. It is not. They are an important element of what we do as we account with public monies. We are reporting in line with the law, Chair. GRAP 3 says that the management shall develop an accounting policy where there exists no standard of GRAP for that particular transaction. There exists no standard of GRAP for that particular transaction, Chair. We have developed an accounting policy. And I've already said how we have gone about developing that accounting policy. Medical aids. So, prescribed minimum benefits are exactly that, Chair. They are in the realm of medical aids. Nowhere in the RAF Act are you going to find where they say the medical aid must claim. You know what medical aids were doing? They would hire a lawyer for their members to come and claim from RAF. Why would they go about doing it in such a way, Chair, where they hire a lawyer for lawyer to claim? And when the lawyer claims, he doesn't say medical aid, he says, I'm claiming on behalf of Collins. And then after that, the money must be paid to them. Section 19D says you can't enter an agreement with anyone who's not listed in 19C. The medical aid is not listed in 19C, so they can't enter into an agreement that once the money is received, it must be paid to them. It's unlawful. What have we done? We have taken it to court. Of course, the view will be, well, the court disagrees. Yeah, we have appealed because we believe very strongly that the Medical Schemes Act is very clear about whose role it is. By the way, medical aid schemes are not insurers. They are also social benefit schemes. So our view is that we are opening a litany of other things in our view that would not help society, but also would not help this country. Where we are saying people must now go and claim from SASSA. I must join and say, this is my retirement fund, and then it must now go and claim such as the portion I was supposed to if I was not part of that. I don't think that's what we want to do. And Chair, we are in battle with that one, and it's in line with the law, as it were. So the prescribed minimum benefits, Chair, other things that are not prescribed minimum benefits in terms of medical aid, we pay. So they must not create an impression that we are not paying everything. Honorable Madlala says that they are internal matters. And it will be remiss of us to come in here and say, well, the RAF is operating like no, it's a process, Chair. It's a process, consequence management, all those things, and all that. We get a green because just a few days ago, one of our own employees was sentenced to 12 years in prison. That's our work, okay? So we are not going to be liked, Chair. It's understandable. But people must not distort what we are doing. The kind of work that we have done will show you. Will show you. And it's audited. The other things about it is that it's audited. When they come in, they say 91% is audited. We do our work, Chair, as it were. Are there issues? Of course there are issues. Are people feeling overworked? All of us will claim to be overworked at some point or another. Are we doing something about it? We keep on. This thing of saying Durban is going to close is not true. In fact, we are opening other customer experience centers in KZN. That's a fact. The difficulty with it is that also these areas where our offices are, it's not in areas where most of our people live. It's not rural. It's not. You will never find us in a township. We are even reigniting the part where we're in hospitals because we want to be there where our people are so that we can assist them. And that's the reality. We are not in the business of fighting with Chapter 9 institutions, but we are in a business of disagreeing with them where we think that they are wrong. We don't believe that they are always right, much as we are always not right. But it's something that the perception that we just disagree with the AG or everyone for the sake of it can't be true, Chair. The reality is this: if you check all the litigations that we have been in most instances we are respondents. We are respondents. We are never the ones that start the litigation. It's very rare, in rare cases, that happens. Our people must complain. They are allowed to, which is why we opened the call center. We never had a call center. We have a call center now. We have taken 288,000 queries, and we have resolved at least 96% of those within the time period that we're given, because we take them seriously. But there will always be an issue of the lawyer in between, because the lawyer can claim, no, I've never received the money, when they've actually received the money. So we do take this issue seriously, Chair. If there is anything that we do, we put the claimants first in what we do. Honorable Maduna, I went on explaining this issue. Section 24.5, like Section 18.4, like Section 19C, like Section 19D, are nonsensical. They are. they criminalize common sense. The system itself that says sue me to give you a social benefit is nonsensical. Because if you're a social benefit fund, someone must just walk through. Why doesn't SASSA need the very same lawyers? Lawyers are going to tell you something different because they make money. They are billionaires coming out of this thing. They actually lend our people money. They borrow, they give them the money. People borrow from them as they are busy doing, so that when the money comes, they can just take the whole of it. We get, I mean, there was Sprite Incorporated where a person owes, after that, I think they charged that person 724,000 for a claim. The loss of earnings of that person was 241,000. After that was paid, they were still owing the law firm. And that's a fact. I mean, we can go on, and they're not alone, by the way. We'll be disclosing very soon, Chair, these issues. I don't want to, I think we've dealt with illegal foreigners. Yeah, look, defined benefits is the only thing that must, exclusion first, and then defined benefit. We must exclude the rich out of this scheme. And then, after excluding them, then we can deal with the issue of everyone must get the same. Then we know, but it's poor people getting the same. It's not the same, it's not me also claiming, right? The state tried in 2008, I think the parliament passed the amendments where they removed that 25,000 for public passengers. But you know who public passengers are, right? They were until 2008, the maximum was 25,000. Before then, they were paid only 25,000. What the private sector is not going to tell you is that there's a thing called the public passenger liability insurance. They've been collecting those monies at least from 2008, and they've never paid a cent to these public passengers that get injured. And it's a thing that they are hiding. We have taken this to the Financial Service Conduct Authority, and I think it's important that SCOPA must ask how far, because we are told there are 22 of those that are busy getting the money from these people but never have paid anything out. I think that also becomes important. SCM staff and lifestyle audit, we like any other organization that is in the state and procurement, I don't think it's even specific to public entities. Mines are dealing with that. I know a lot of mines that have got a problem with SCM staff. So we do, from time to time, run those kind of things. We have an internal investigation unit, forensic investigation that is inside there. This is where we pick up all these other issues. Ours is not only SCM, by the way. The people that finalize claims are in our area the biggest challenge, because you'll be surprised, lawyers asking you, why did you suspend this guy? Because that's the guy that gave them into the kitty of RAF, who can easily say, well, it's a claim of 5 million and say, I'm giving you an offer of 10. Because we rely on their professional judgment. You may never know what then happens, but we do follow up on the lifestyle of those individuals and all that. Honorable Bulose, you are right. I think the issue is this, and I think if we were recognizing the liability as an insurer, we'll at least be sitting with more than 500 billion actuarial liability that sits in our books, and the state must go and find it. So if we decide today, let's just say we're an insurer, our view is that will be malicious compliance. You come to us, you say, you are an insurer, just account as an insurer. We say, oh, let's show them. Let's change our accounting policy, account for it like that, 500 billion, and come to you and say, give us the 500 billion. I don't think that's how, as professionals, we want to deal with this issue. That's why, for us, it's important that the way we are classified is important. The audit outcomes, I think they are clear, they are green, and there's for a reason, and I think you must, if you don't believe us that things are in the way that they are, at least believe the AG. Perceptions. I hear that sometimes we are told perceptions are reality. Well, I don't believe that. Every day we fight battles. People have got the PR. In fact, when we started this project, lawyers told us that they are going to spend time. They went around even asking for money. They said, we'll keep you in court for as long as you are trying to change this thing. We don't want to leave the scheme. This scheme must be like this. Yeah, that's why they will fight RAPs. They will fight any change you make. We have received, if I'm not mistaken, I mean the department can confirm, we have received more than 5,000, 30,000 comments. You are never going to find claimants there. You're going to find some organization masquerading as claimants, all of them never being injured, but all of them actually in more way than another being lawyers. So you are going to find that. What is the solution? It's simple. Just be a social benefit scheme and don't ask people to prove damages. Once you know they are injured and all that, you don't need to sue someone to receive your social benefit, and that's our view. It's a view I hold. In one way or another, everyone in this room has been somewhere affected by this thing of RAF and knows someone who has been swindled by lawyers. It's not that we're scapegoating them. I'm glad that there was maladministration finding around the LPC by the what do they call them? The Ombud, the legal service Ombud has found on some area of, I think, scheme and attorneys, where we are saying charge these people, and they were found that they did not put the real charges against those individuals, and there's something wrong that they did there. And we were going to prove a lot of them, because I can tell you the 102 law firms who have reported to the LPC up to today, nothing has happened. In fact, they were telling us that there's nothing wrong with someone stealing the money, and when we find them with that money, they say, no, they've paid it back, so don't bother following them. So that's the kind of things that we deal with on a daily basis. It's not an easy task, Chair, but that's what we've been doing. I hope that I've answered all the questions, Chair. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Mr.